and then we just have a good old laugh, because this is what it was all about, right? We're going to pay 3. Gotcha. Gotcha. So that's just fun. And with the new meta, we've got like the artifact enchantment creatures, you know, there's all these vehicles. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. A very interesting deck. Mono blue, steal ya stuff, right? We have Thieving Skydiver is... I'm going to mention this card over and over within today's video. I probably even made the Thieving Skydiver an intro portion, knowing myself. But what a fantastic card in the current meta. So building the deck around that, if you're unfamiliar with the card, don't worry. We're going to showcase this card, obviously, and the rest of the deck that supports it. We'll break down the deck list in full, talk about the strategies, the synergies, showcase in the gameplay footage so you gain a deeper understanding of exactly how the deck is meant to, you know, really operate effectively. And then we will wrap up with my closing remarks. So make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel, join the link tree for lots of goodies, the Discord, the giveaways, all this stuff, right? So cheers. Ramble on, kid. We'll get after it. Let's check out the deck first, though. All right, give me your shit. I'm sorry, I said I was going to watch my language for the younger folks at home, but that's, you know, after this video. I'll get better after this video, okay? 60 card standard best of 1 mythic rank deck here, 3.0 average mana value with 9 creatures, 26 non-creatures, and 25 land, which is fairly interesting, but the, you know, 3.0 curve is fairly high, so it's nice to always curve out into the 7 mana for the Hullbreaker Horror. And, you know, say what you will, how are you going to win matches in mono blue without running massive counter magic flash tempo while, you know, still remaining competitive and not using the Hullbreaker Horror and Disciple of the Drowned? You just can't do it, so we're doing it. And may I say, before we get into it, that the cards feel a lot better, more balanced within mono blue than anywhere else, right? They're not as big of a problem like they are in the multicolored decks, where you have access to all of these different tools that mono blue doesn't have, like destroy effects is a good example. But nonetheless, it is still a fantastic way to end the match, and that's why we have the 25 lands here. We have the Soaring City, and now this, you know, is very good in the deck. We can channel it for 4 to bounce an artifact, creature, or enchantment slash planeswalker to its owner's hand. And, you know, that's going to be really, really good for us. And, of course, the Storm Giants as a 7/7 with Ward 3 as an attacking force late game as well. So, you know, that's what we have going on with our deck as a whole, land and curve base. First and foremost, the Thieving Skydiver for 2 mana is a 2/1. Kicker for X. X can't be 0, so you know it's coming in for 3 if you do kick it or more. With flying, and when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, gain control of target artifact with mana value X or less. If that artifact is an equipment, attach it to the Thieving Skydiver. Okay, so Kamigawa introduced a plethora of artifacts and equipments into the game. They are normally very, very good. And then some of them are equipment as well, in which you can auto-equip. This is big news. Thieving Skydiver is unlike any card right now in the meta for its value. It's a flyer. It can trigger ninjutsu, which we're not doing in this build, but you can use the Thieving Skydiver to steal something, trigger a ninjutsu for something else, get value from that, bounce the Skydiver back, and, you know, this is... oh my lord, have mercy. So that's cool, and I really do think that this is going to be quite the popular card, and if you own copies of this, I'm pretty sure the value of this is going to skyrocket as soon as it catches on as well. So Thieving Skydiver, obviously the core concept of the deck, and then we move on to things like Invoke the Winds. This is a new card for 5 sorcery speed, gaining control of target artifact or creature. Untap it. The untapping of it is nice if it's an artifact, as then we can, you know, retap it. Artifacts don't have summoning sickness as long as they're not creatures, so that's good. If it was a mana source or something like this. If it was a creature, it's still going to have summoning sickness, which is a bummer. However, it will be able to act as a blocker, which is fantastic, right? And then, of course, you know, with Lear, Disciple of the Drowned, we can recast that from our grave to steal even more things, which is really, really quite nice. And then that's, you know, basically the deck. The rest is just hardcore interaction. The most, you know, interactive piece, I guess, of interaction would be the Living Breakthrough, a 3/3 with flying. And whenever you cast a spell, your opponents can't cast spells with the same mana value as the spell until your next turn. So this is really cool, right? We have 1-drops, we have 2-drops. A little shy on the 3-drops, but however, you know, there's not too many great things that we can fit into the build here without taking away the consistency. However, it's still very good to shut down the 1-drops, the 2-drops, the 4-drops, you know, maybe even potentially the 5-drops, right? So basically locking out our opponent here, which is nice. And before it transforms into the 3/3 with flying, you can bounce a creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand and then return artifact card from your graveyard to your hand if you can't draw a card. So, you know, getting a bounce, getting a draw, and then getting a 3/3 with flying that can, you know, basically shut out our opponent's hand. It's really cool. Away from that, it's a ton of bounce effects, whether it be a field bounce, consuming tide for 4 sorcery speed. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents not chosen to this way to their owner's hands. Then you draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Again, a nice way to draw a card and reset the field. And then single target bounces through Fading Hope if it was mana value 3 or less. Scry 1 for instant speed. Depart the Realm can be foretold for 1 on target non-land permanent, which is nice. Instant speed for 2, normally. Into the Royal, instant speed for 2, also on non-land permanent. If it was kicked, draw a card. Kicker's an additional 2, which is quite nice. Visions doubling as a land. We can also look at the top 6, reveal an instant or sorcery from among them, put it into our hand. You know, looking at the top 6 is absolutely ridiculous, and depending on the time, we'll be looking for different things, of course, right? Whether it be a bounce effect or, you know, maybe a steal effect or even just a draw effect, right? And then the Hallbreaker Horror is going to bounce things as well. Whenever you cast a spell, either return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, which is, you know, just, it's about the goofiest thing that Magic's ever done, at least in recent memory, right? The Hallbreaker Horror is beyond cringe, but, you know, it really does help get the job done within a mono blue deck that probably wouldn't be so hot without it. Memory Deluge is the draw. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X was the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. Put 2 of them into your hand, the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. Flashback for 7, right? We talked about the draw being there. Hexproof through Hide and tap creatures through Distract the Guard via you see the approach for 1 mana at instant speed. This is, you know, good to protect the Leer. It's good to, you know, help stop your opponent's attacks. And if you have the Hallbreaker Horror out for 1 mana, you know, you're going to be countering or interacting with spells, basically, which is really cool as well. So, you know, kind of a weird deck. You can see the overall themes of it. You'll probably gain a better understanding of it when we do showcase it within today's gameplay footage. Some weak spots here, of course, as we don't really have any long-term you know, ways to deal with things, because we're just bouncing, right? We're just sending it back to hand, and that actually doesn't get rid of it. They retain much of that value. As they do lose tempo to respend that mana, they withhold that value, as it didn't go to the grave, it didn't go to exile, and they don't need to redraw it many times, right? It's just right there, good to go next turn. So it does become one of those things where you have to really stack up your value and make sure that you can continually shut them down while you're amassing, you know, a Disciple, a Hallbreaker, and then you just swing in for lethal, right? Stuff like this. So, again, today's gameplay will do a better job exemplifying that than I can probably do vocally. However, before we get there, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, support. Linktree link as well. Just enjoy the gameplay, you guys. Again, probably not the most competitive deck, but sometimes just doing these things for the fun of it. I honestly thought this would just be like a challenge for myself today, but it performed better than I expected, which is really cool. So we're actually climbing rank with it, which is fairly exciting. Enjoy. Going first, as it always should be. A little light on lands, makes me nervous. There's not a ton of interaction, but it is there, and we do have a draw. Invoke the Winds is kind of like a later game card. It's rare that you can drop it on 5 and get away with it. land is nice. So hopefully, you know, we do get that 4th land. I'm not really just into bouncing 1 damage, so we'll take it. And this is going to be a weird deck to play, right? You really need to kind of risk it for the biscuit. And we do get that land, which is nice. One itchy nose coming up. As soon as you press the record button, too, it's just like... Graveyard Trespassar. So the ward on this is... Well, it's not bad, right? I think it is what it is. The discard effect is not great, and the exile from the grave is also not great. Because we have the Disciple, obviously. And I doubt, you know, like they're just going to bounce the Ghast. So we'll pass turn. Maya in studio for just a second. Put her where she should be as my pet. This isn't great. And I still think that we should interact with it. And if we kick, discard, we draw and replace what we've discarded. And now that is the 5th land, which is fairly interesting.
I am vengeance, bloody and righteous. You will serve me well.
Let's throw to them. I mean, we have instant speed interaction. I would like to pop off with this Deluge. I mean, at this point, we probably need to flash in a Hullbreaker.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Force us to discard here. I think it has to be Depart. I wouldn't mind keeping the 2nd Invoke. Taking 3 down to 14. And then the Trespasser in play. Oh! Shambling Ghast. Let's luge it up. And bounce everything back. I mean, the acquisition export is the worst thing here, but it is what it is. I'd assume they keep the life gain token. Sorin's loyalty resets if they play him again. So that's not bad. They keep Sorin just as the Planeswalker, though. I mean, it's 4 mana, and I can't bounce it with a Hope, so, you know, that's fine, that's fine. We're sitting on 6 land. We need the 7th. Ooh, a double expert could be unfavorable. Trespasser in play. Which, I mean, you know, not great. Taking our Deluge. Is there removal in those 3 cards that we can't see? Right, that's the big question. let's show and lose Fading Hope, as we have a few copies of it in hand, so we should be okay. Cast in play. Let's take our turn. Ooh, we get the land, but it's slow. Let's grab the Trespasser. Sadly, discarding another Hope. Oops, we have to resolve first before we select. I was like, why won't it let me select? And, yeah. I mean, now we've got a blocker. And they can't eat away, hopefully, at our graveyard anymore. So we can find the Disciple and then start casting some of these spells from our grave again. These discards are getting old. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Dirty. It's a good matchup for them. They want to kill the Trespasser. They're exiling it. I mean, I'm glad that they used that on the Trespasser, not my Hullbreaker. I'm gonna be honest. Well, their Trespasser, not even mine, right? Ugh. Oof. Oof. And that's one of the dangers to a bounce-only deck here. Is that you'll often find yourself in trouble. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a lot of damage. They know we have the Hull, though. So I don't know what they do. Oh, wow. Blood on the Snow. So do we force them to blood the creatures? Big guarantee they have... Well, that's not great. So now we're basically forced to wait until it's at flash speed. Because we'll lose our creatures otherwise. And then they could still have instant speed. Pretty terrible matchup, but that's how these things go. More or less a challenge for myself with a mono blue deck. It's easy to build mono blue tempo, and we've done that quite successfully, but... And in most aspects, this is still mono blue tempo, but a very mid-range feel to it. Oh, wow. I guess we could have bounced the Professor and then killed Soren, but with only 4 life, we basically need to defend with everything. Yikes. So the Glutton is just going to slay us. We have nothing to discard, so we can't target it. We could block it with the Hullbreaker, but we can't bounce it with an effect. So, yeah. I mean, we can get around Blood on the Snow. We probably just find ourselves in a little bit of trouble here. Actually, if we interact to survive here, we can't get around Blood on the Snow. I don't want to give them a learn again. Disciple goes. Maybe we should have kept it. I think they get to take this one free and clear. We didn't take damage because they were instants and sorceries, I guess. Right? We only take damage and they gain life if it's a creature. So that, I mean, helps out a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana on their end. We could counter blood, right? We counter whatever they do. They know we can do it too. They can see that we have Fading Hope here. I wonder if we can turn this around. That would be fantastic. Hmm. One, two, three, 4, 5. They would just replay it. So let's let it enter. They might take their own creature here to deal damage. I don't even want to select their graveyard, right? We have the Disciple out. Like, how do you not just interact with what I have in the grave? There's no damage. But dang, yo. Oh, and they take the 2 that we can't cast right now. That's fantastic. That's really good. Smart play, smart play. Expert's a dead card. We have no cards to show them. I mean, it's a blocker, is what it is, right? We have 3 life. This is still a match somehow. We're so close. But the thing is, if they blood and pull a token, we're just right back to being screwed. Five, 6, 7, 8 is not enough. One damage shy. It's that second creature that's saving them, right? If they had 1 less blocker, we'd get this. I think we bounced both the small ones. And I think we also just missed lethal by not attacking with the land. Did I fuck that up? Because then they would have blocked a 7. No, they still would have just taken 10. This way we have a defender, potentially. But I think we bounce. It's a weird situation. I don't like it. Like, if we had tapped the giant and attacked with it. Okay, interesting. Just toss the card, throw that back. And then who do you want to keep? I think we keep the Disciple, put the Breaker back. Wow, I wish we could have interacted with this. So if all goes well, because it is daytime, it would only be 2 damage here. Oh, but they have the double experts. Oh, hashtag forgotten about. Hashtag forgotten about. And he punts. I was trying to dodge blood in the snow. It's early, it's early. More coffee, HGG, more coffee, more coffee. Oops. So we need a really nice top deck here. And they take the Hullbreaker to deal damage to us here. We almost had it. We're so close. Blood on the Snow really put us in an awkward position. And then all of the discard. It was just, again, terrible matchup. Good game. Oh! Woo! Alright. That's what I mean. It's more of a challenge for ourselves than anything. We'll get there, though. I like hard things. That's what she said. Oh, stop. Round 2. Fight! Thieving 7, 3 land. And basically, this is the reason I built the deck, was Thieving Skydiver. So if we can just steal an artifact in today's video from our opponent and have them scoop because of it. There goes my heartbeat, right? Thump, thump, thump. Let's pass it out. I mean, Temir, that's the color combination of red, green, and blue. Excuse me. I don't know if that came through or not. Two Walrus Disruptions. Glad to get those out of the way. Need Hall Giants in, but I would rather just roll, like Deluge there. Alright, so let's just keep holding on, and that can be our 5th land. The Celestis. Yeah, luge it up. I'm tempted to royal that out. That's 3 Walrus Disruptions they've had. So here comes the really fun part, right? So we play the 5th land, and then we just have a good old laugh, because this is what it was all about, right? We're going to pay 3. Gotcha. Gotcha. So that's just fun. And with the new meta, we've got like the artifact enchantment creatures, you know, there's all these vehicles. Fantastic. So this was just fun for me. Oh, wish we would have saved it for the chariot. Right? Oh. I mean, we get the land here. Not bad. He's pretty good with the Hullbreaker right there. Oh, but we shuffle. So that's gone. Good there. Let's keep it slow. Just get the cat token out of here. Land out. for 2. We can royal any shenanigans, but I kind of want to just save it for the Hullbreaker. And that's why it's nice to get this land in tapped too. So we're playing an untapped land on the turn we want to break out. Ooh!
Symbiosis is harmony. From root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
They get to crew and hit for 4. We kill Ren in 7. And we have Hullbreaker active. Oh, please, just grab this. No! Lord have mercy on my soul! I have to do it. I have to do it. It's just so fun for me. Thieving Skydiver.
Even in defeat,
What a great card. This is a 4-color deck. There's black in here as well. Wow. And now, of course, we get this iteration out. And if you've been paying attention to Magic for the last who knows how long, you know how great that is. We do get 2 extra damage here. If we, because the Living Breakthrough has Summoning Sickness, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care. They need a 7th land for their haul. They only have 6 here, so. Ouch. Killing their own chariot while losing 2 life. It's just fun. Thieving Skydiver, probably the best card in Neon Dynasty. Changed my mind. There's a token. We don't really care. We'll just end our turn here. I guess if they grab a meat hook, that's unfortunate. For a second, anyways. After that, we're fine, because they're basically out of cards here. Hit for 1. Down to 15, that's fine. They could not replay. But what if that's removal? Not within these colors, though. You know what I mean? Let's return Kato. Bounce the token, our turn. Let's go. We should have swung with the land, my bad. Sorry, opponent. Oh, we don't even need to. I mean, I knew that was lethal. Oh, gosh. And just like that, we're back in the top 1800. Beautiful. Going first, going first. Okay, okay. Is that not the first thing that you guys look for as well? I think I vision immediately. It's in tapped, and then we don't have to worry about it. Because, you know, I've got some nice 5-drops that I wouldn't mind curving into. So, you know, if that makes the difference, and I certainly hope it does, we're good to roll with it. I mean, it's just sitting there, so I don't really care. Not dealing damage or anything. I guess the question is, do they have protection? Nice. Let's bounce one of them. The Luge. Wow. Just need land. And it's like not a land. That's the thing. I know it could find us land, but we'd have to take the turn off to do it, and that's a bit of a problem. So we're chilling. We could kick our royal for another chance here. Ouch. We really need a land. I guess the same goes for them. They better not play any... Like, if they play Sky... Like, all the Skyclaves, I'm gonna freak out. We have no big spells here for 4, so let's just play it as a creature. Man, where's that land? There it is. Let's take that savior for ourselves. Hit for 2. And now we can train the savior with the skydiver. Oh, but they're double playing. So we're gonna lose the savior, and then they just get that card back. No, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. That cannot be correct. We have protection through hexproof, so... Let's complete our full dunk here. With a Disciple giving us access to these Fading Hopes. We don't care about the Luminarchs. Let's hide. Grab Hexproof. Winds from the grave on the Luminarch. Oh, you stop it. Hello, good game. Okay, I was saying, oh, this is a jank deck. I'll be happy if I can even get a win with it in Mythic. But casting Invoke the Winds from the grave with the Disciple. We might be onto something here. Like, going first. And now we've really demonstrated the use of most things other than this inventive iteration. So I really kind of wouldn't mind focusing on that for the rest of the video. And I think we've, again, highlighted all the different aspects of the build, where it falls short, where it excels in different... Ooh. Man, that is a good card against us. This will be unpleasant. I mean, we can keep dunking on it for the foreseeable future. Oof! Well, you say that. And now we don't want to be bouncing the Spellbreaker, right? This is not a good matchup here. Again, you know, it's not only good to demonstrate the deck's strengths, but also its shortcomings. So you know if it's you or the deck, and in this case, sometimes there's bad matchups. We don't really want to bounce that, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, what choice do you have? What choice do you have? Yikes. I mean, hopefully these 3/3s that kind of shut down their casting can help us. Maybe they play a juicy artifact for us to snag, huh? Cosmos Elixir, anyone? Okay. So, depart the realm. You're gone. Demon Sky. Maybe they do have a juicy artifact. That's interesting. And we have hexproof for it. As long as Thalia doesn't slam. And then we can just trade with the binder. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Maybe they have indestructible. And I'm happy to get that out of their hand, I suppose. They do. It'd be cool if we could give their creature hexproof, but I guess that doesn't matter because it's their own spell. Okay. I mean, it's out of their hand. We can bounce Thalia, not have her played next turn. This should still be for 2, not for 3, right? Yeah, absolutely. And then we're just chilling. So there's no 2-drops. Which is fine because we have hexproof. Almost fairly frustrating there. 2-drops, now there's no 1-drop, so they can't, unless it's a 1-drop here. Because I could throw it on a stack before the Living Breakthrough resolves. Okay, we're protected. There's no 2-drops, now there's no 1-drops, which means they're not doing nothing. We're not blocking, because the Living Breakthrough is our only hope here. We do not want to bounce the Brutal Cathar. Cast this before Thalia. No 4-drops for them. We need a 2-drop to shut down Thalia again. Let's hit for 3. And we have access to Soaring City. Which isn't an instant or sorcery to bounce Thalia, potentially. Alright, here's a 1-drop. They're just locked out from 4-drops. Oh no, this is channel 4. We don't have a legendary. Oh! The bounce is bad. I think I'm gonna just try to take the Cathar. They're locked out from 5-drops. Smart man would have just bounced everything, I think. I'm being grady. And then we can Consuming Tide and bounce the Breakthrough back and reuse the enchantment. Ah, yeah, greed always will get you burned. Greed will burn ya. It's alright though, you know, we had to go for it. Push the envelope, right? This is still a match somehow. Well, they 610. Oh my gosh. They have another snakeskin? That's incredible. Wow. Get dunked on, streamer. You're a bully. Helena and Alina stays, and whenever they play next gains haste. They have Cave of the Frost Dragon. They do that. Good game. No! Going first, probably the only way to win with this deck. I don't know. I talk such trash. You know this is your own deck, right? I'm an aggro player, what can I say? At heart, anyways. I mean, I like this. This is fun for sure, and that's why I'm doing it. But do I think it's reliably competitive? Probably not. Does it have standout matches that are fantastic? Oh, absolutely. That's where the fun lies. I mean, we need to, I guess, start popping off these luges.
With the right tools, I can do anything.
I'm just gonna throw that back.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
We could do the same here, but with kicked variant. They're doing their phases appropriately, which I always forget with Kato. I'll play him and then be like, oh, I have to attack, but that gives the opponent a chance to interact, which is bad.
Secret is safe from me.
Ooh.
I've got all kinds of connections.
Let's take the draw. Kato phases. Curtains out. I don't want to allow them to free cast on us without being afraid of counterspells here. So we just take the damage and hold the deluge. That's a good card. Just keep getting permanent bounces, right? Permanent value from those bounces by eliminating tokens, always. We need to find Consuming Tide, right? The one that bounces all but one, because they're starting to stack up multiple permanents here, and we can swash them away. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good card. 4/3 that pulls an additional 4/3 and has flying. We really need that tide. We have 3, 6. This will be our 7th land for the breaker, but it's looking a little grim here. Dang. Yo. Yikes. Do you play the Disciple and do something there, or like... And they choose the Disciple here, probably. Which would be the smartest choice, I guess. It has to be the Disciple. It has to be. But then they're risking a double breaker, which is like, be aggressive, be aggressive. But we're also taking 7, 9, 10 damage here. It's not good. It's not the good, you see? Maybe we should have tapped and bounced. We're only interrupting 1 damage. It's not enough to concern ourselves with. Hopefully their removal sorcery speed.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Poor land. Just play that other angel, bro. I mean, why not? We're so far with our backs against the wall here that they may as well. Oh! Well, that's not great. That's going to be a 3/3 for us next turn. That also shuts down their ability to cast. This is only creature, not permanent. It should be permanent, gains hexproof. And they just draw here. Hopefully there's not instant speed removal. There is. It's a vanishing bird. Oh, and then burn skis. Okay. I don't think we survive this, right? We're taking 4 at least. We'll try, whatever. I mean, I don't want to premature good game. I mean, I've lost. I'm admitting defeat, but I also demand honor. You must slay me in battle, or I shall not. You jerk. They can still just exile us. Good sorcery speed though, so what if we go like this and then immediately give ourselves hexproof, bounce, doesn't matter, and we just die anyways? That's the only way to get through it. But even then we don't, because we would have had to just double bounce there. Holy Toledos. A little rambly in today's video. You know, we're fresh off a nice coffee here. It's early, you guys. This is my first video of the day. I started batch working all my videos, so we're recording like 5 videos per day on the weekends, and then just kind of fine-tuning decks and getting ready to create content again on the weekends, taking things a little bit less serious. This deck was the first one we did today because I felt it was the least competitive. It actually turned out to function all right within Mythic. As far as where we can take the deck from here, man, I miss Learn, honestly. It would be nice to have access to more value from the sideboard. Something like Mascot Exhibition late game would be super cool. Rest in peace, Divide by Zero. We shall forever miss you. But, you know, how could you guys think of ways to improve the deck? It's kind of a meme theme deck, but at the end of the day, I would still like it to be as competitive as possible. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. I always, you know, gain so much from you guys as a community, which is great. So with that being said, let's take a look at not only card of the day, but an upcoming project. I guess not card of the day at all, more like box of the day, you know what I mean? So shout out to all of the supporters on YouTube for becoming members. We're gonna have a members only video here where we do a complete box opening, which is pretty cool, of set boosters, which is exciting, and you'll probably just give some of these cards away as well to the community, because you know, I live 200 kilometers away from the nearest Friday Night Magic, and I really don't have any friends, you guys. No one to play with. No! So I'll probably just, you know, open them up, have some fun, sign some cards, and send them out to the community. Cheers. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you want to get in on that, become a YouTube member, and you won't miss out. Of course, that'll probably be a few days on that, as I want to advertise it a little bit. But, yeah, cheers. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord, right? We've got lots of cool stuff going on in there, always via the Linktree link in the description below. Whew. Batch work is weird. Recording every day is easy to keep with a routine. I feel out of performance. You know, we're rambling. Why am I rambling? End the video here, HGG. You've already got their attention. Have a magical day, you guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.